Good Wednesday morning, and welcome to Ice Age TV, the internal combustion engine age YouTube channel that talks about all my cars and trucks and SUVs and motorcycles and the dogs. And I don't know, Jesus Christ, wow, what a day yesterday. Wow. Hey, good morning, everybody. Thanks for tuning in my channel, for those that watch me and follow me around on all my craziness and antics and addictions. And yeah, wow. Yesterday was a long day. I mean, just a long day between buying that Mustang and then taking my Rocket down to the dealership to get that thing in order to maybe get that thing back today. I mean, oh my gosh. It just, and it just starts all over again today. Any mist coming off that pond this morning? Got a little bit. Just a beautiful morning here. Beautiful weather. Beautiful time of year for us. And here is a Mustang. I now have 3 Mustangs. So the Mustang collection is growing, and it's just so, this is so not a Mustang. But Ford wanted to use this brand name for the recognition to get those people to buy it, and it's not working. So what Ford thought would maybe play out in this electric vehicle hasn't played out by using the Mustang name that everybody and their brother would be running in the droves to buy this car. They just automatically thought that put a Mustang brand name on it and it's going to create all the enthusiasm. Yeah, so wow, the throat's really fighting the GERD in some ways this morning. Some days not so bad, some other days a little worse. But anyways, here we are. Got the Ford Mustang daughter's car over here that she is so happy I did not trade that car in. You have no idea how at the last second I pulled off that deal without having to give up that car. So that was in so many ways a good thing, but I just about walked away. But what's really incredible is I ended up buying a manual Mustang that in so many ways is now mine. When I am so much more the automatic, the auto guy. I mean, every vehicle I have sitting here on my lot, come on there, Willy Pilly, come on. Look at the car down there. You see, you probably can't see it from the sun, but the heat coming off that black Wagoneer. But every car I have, with the exception to my daughter's car, is manual. And in this area I live, I just don't really like a manual car. So auto seems to be the more dominant thing that people buy. And I thought to myself this morning, I guess we could have the auto conversations. The test conversations on Monday. Test the times, and you test drive things. And then yesterday, we had the excitement conversations. I thought this morning, I don't think we've had the auto conversations, which that could be a very broad meaning. So, hey, people are probably, wait a second, you're not showing your car off. Yeah, here it is. Let's get the dogs in, because what'll happen is something will happen, and then all the craziness begins. So let's get the dogs in the office so we can look at the shop here and see how I added another vehicle to the collection that a week ago I would have told you, would that be sitting in my garage? I'd have been like, no. And in so many ways, I'd have been like, yeah, that would have been the Dark Horse I ordered, but that's actually not the same color Dark Horse Mustang I ordered. So even for me, I can't even keep track of what I've ordered and what I haven't ordered. So let's get all lights on here and all that good stuff. And I needed some water. That's for dang sure, because my throat this morning just really is itchy and choked up. I don't know what's going on. So here's a 2024 Mustang GT. And it really is a nice car. But here's the thing I'm talking about. The car was a manual. And in so many ways, I bought this car thinking the daughter would somewhat like it. But I don't think she'd be really over enthusiastic about it. But I thought, maybe I'll go with the manual. Even though I drove the automatic yesterday. And that's in so many ways really more of who I am. Just like the Dark Horse. So many people are calling me out that I'm getting an automatic over a manual. So, I mean, here's my Dodge, Challenger, the Charger. I mean, everything I have is all automatics. But I borderline suckered myself into buying this car with it being a manual. But the automatic car they had was just ugly. And yeah, I could have waited. Like I told you, man, my throat is so itchy this morning. I'm probably doing a lot of coughing, so sorry for all that. But anyways, just a long day yesterday. I mean, just a long-ass day. To pull all this off, I mean, until you go out and buy cars and do this stuff, it is so exhausting. I mean, it really is. And if anybody thinks spending money is easy, ask me. It is not. It is just so much time and energy and effort. I mean, it really is. This is not easy for the type of lifestyle I have. Money, financially, time, and commitment. Yeah, and do I go out and do it over and over again? Yeah, for the most part I do. How stupid can I be? But anyways, really nice car. It isn't really packaged out the way I would have packaged it. I mean, so there's a lot of things this car doesn't have, but I've got mixed feelings, being it's more of a base car where I won't feel bad if I do change the exhaust out. This is a single tip exhaust. If you have the dual tip, you kind of know you have the active exhaust. This doesn't have that active exhaust, which lets you auto control. Remember the words auto, this automatic cars, manual cars. And so you have the auto control in these cars. And my other Mustang over there, if you watch the videos, where you can control the different notes of the exhaust. And so that's a big thing. This has a cloth interior, which really isn't my preferred choice. So I'm sure some people are like, why did you actually buy this car? And even for me, like, yeah, why the hell did I buy this car? Well, for me, if you watch my video, when I first drove this car, I really did get excited about this car. I really was very impressed at how this car drove and feels. And I feel like the transmission isn't really the greatest of Ford's technology, but I got excited driving this car. I got more excited on driving the auto, I guess Velocity Blue, Atlas Blue. I mean, Ford just changed the name to me. I think it's Velocity Blue, that bronze package, but it looked gaudy. It just isn't my flair, but it did have a lot of features on it. And what's really incredible here is the MagneRide that I've always tell people, if you buy a Mustang, you really want to make sure you get the MagneRide suspension on this car. And I'm blown away on how this car, first Mustang I've ever driven, non-MagneRide, and it's really, really a great riding car. It's very tight. It absorbs the bumps. I mean, I honestly couldn't tell yesterday from that the GT Premium. So here, this is the GT. But then you have the Ford Mustang GT Premium. When you go to the GT Premium, it starts giving you a little bit more love and flavor of where you're going to get the leather seats. You're most likely going to get the dual tip exhaust. You're going to get something called the PP1, but I think they've changed that name to, I can't even, well, let's look here. Let's get out the Maroni sticker, and let's see what they call that, because the sticker should be in here, and it is, if I can get it out of here. All right, so they say if the sticker is green, the gentleman on my YouTube channel said, if this sticker is green, it's a special order, so they weren't lying. So they call this the GT Performance Package. Okay, so years ago, I called it the PP1 package. So you see here where he has the Mustang Night Pony package. So apparently the Mustang Night Pony package is the blacked out. It gives you the blacked out look, which I think this car really has a great look on the black spoiler, the black wheels, the black plastic trim, the black hood. That's a I think that is an upgrade, is it? I don't know. I guess not. Thought it was. So, well, it has black painted roof here. So I don't know if that's part of this or what. I'm not real sure. Just not real in depth in that. So with the blacked out 5.0, the blue calipers to contrast with the paint. I think the guy did a good job on that. The black mirrors, the blacked out front end, black grille, the black grille on the car. So I think the blacked out package. So I think this is a really sporty looking car. And I just think it opens the door where if you really want to personalize it, you won't feel as bad about taking this car and maybe doing some things to it versus you kind of pay for the higher end Mustang and you feel like, well, why'd you do that to it? But right now, I'm very content with the car. The kid's not excited with the car. So for me, I'm in some aspects like, you know what? I could put a window tint on this. Maybe we'll look at putting a black wrap on the hood and, you know, see here the black wrap here on the Challenger. And I did it on my Charger outside here. And does it give the car a little bit more of a attitude, or maybe just kind of leave it alone? And would it be nice to have a little lighter exhaust? As I get older in life, I don't know. I don't really know if I really want that constant louder exhaust. Like yesterday, if you watch my video, my daughter was laughing so much last night because she called me as I was driving her white Mustang back home, and I think she can't hear me talking. And so she's saying, and one thing about somebody who has hard hearing, you have to change the word that you're asking. That's a trick for people that can't hear well. If you say the same word over and over again, they're hearing the same thing over and over again. So my daughter called me, and this car out here, this is the 2020 Mustang, the S550 series, and this car has the Steeda front suspension change out coils to lower the car. Just the front, so it gives a more lower stance. It has the X pipe on it to give it more exhaust note. And it has the Steeda clutch spring for the manual transmission to give you a little harder, a little heavier feel on that clutch pedal. It doesn't really do anything for the clutch plate. It's more about the feel of you pushing in and out of that clutch. And so she just loves this car. And I just know that. And that's why yesterday I came to closure at the dealership. If I trade that for the 2024 Vapor Blue, she's gonna be so unhappy. She's really gonna be bummed. I mean, deep down, she's like, Dad, you gave away my favorite car on the Mustang side. So if you're looking at my driveway right now, the white Ram truck has gone away. And that was a really nice truck, but I mean, the truck's 10 years old. You know, it was a nice truck, but it's 10 years old. And how many trucks do I have? 1 truck, 2 truck, 3 truck, 4 truck. Yeah, I have 5 trucks to a degree, 6. I don't think I'm hurting on the capability to use a truck, so I just kind of came to closure. I'd rather be able to two-up it with my daughter and have our nice car meets, car shows, but I really like this car. It's really clean. I think it has really good angles, and in person, I think it really does show more of the Mustang versus somebody think that it kind of went to the Camaro lines on her lines. But going back to that exhaust, my daughter's exhaust, that's loud. So my daughter's calling me, and I think she's saying Dad when she's saying guess what or something like that. And I just couldn't hear her. The reason I couldn't hear her is because I'm on that loud exhaust car. But that car has the feature, you know, duh, for me, I could have taken and toggled that car through the active exhaust valve, and I could have taken that and turned it down to a quiet mode. You don't have, so the danger here is if you put a nicer exhaust on this, louder exhaust, it's always going to be loud. And I just don't know if I really want that. I'm just at an age in life where nice, in some ways, to me, this is kind of the gentleman's car. I mean, I kind of approach it, and I just think the cloth interior seats, you know, they're not, the seats look nice. I mean, they don't look like the premium do, but it's a nice seat. I think they've done a little better job on the seat. I think the Mustang seats, for the most part, suck. I think Dodge just eats up. But I've got the high-end Dodge cars, too, so keep that in mind. And I had the GT500s, and those seats were nicer. But here we are, we get in the car. And so that's one thing about these cars as you get older, is you crawl into the car and you crawl out of the car. And that's where it's, you know, as you get older, it's like, and that's why I'm not so much a Corvette guy anymore. I'm not the Corvette guy that I used to be because the car sits so low to the ground. I had the Toyota Supra. In so many ways, I just got sick of crawling out of the car. And that's why I got rid of my Corvette years ago, more than that reason. So getting my water here, so excuse me there. So here we are with the Mustang, which isn't too bad of the entry and exit capability. One thing I do kind of like about this, it doesn't have an electronic seat, so it's a little quicker to move the seat back and forth if somebody else I know in my life wants to drive the car. It doesn't have, it's funny, yesterday, no, there's other cars looking at it, didn't have the manual or didn't have the settings for an electronic premium package on their car. So, all right, get in the car, and here's the daughter, and so many are going to get turned off, okay? It's this here. So many are going to get really just not excited about this vehicle because of it having all this iPad look to it. So let's start the car up and see how it sounds. Okay, it's a good old 5.0 GT, but that reminds me of my Ford Mustang Mach-E and my Lightning truck. So Ford has incorporated this funky sound that goes into the vehicle to alert you of things. And let me get out of here. This, you can see where I live, right? Probably, hey, now you're never gonna live to come find you. Well, yeah, if you want to come see me, you can. Everything's insured. I mean, if you want anything, you can have it. I mean, sincerely, I'm the type of person you can have it. It's insured. I'm not going to kill myself or kill you if you want to come steal stuff. I mean, that's what your life is. Come get it. I mean, I can replace it. I mean, how stupid are you in life? It's a material item. Are you kidding me? You're just, I tell people all the time, if you're going to steal something, steal a Ferrari. I mean, steal the Maserati. Steal something that you'll probably never, ever drive in your whole life. And maybe if you get away with it, you can get it in a box to go to Dubai or wherever. You may just get $200,000-$300,000. These cars here are chump change. I mean, give me a break. So anyways, this car, this here reminds me of my Mustang Mach-E. It has a smaller screen. So, I don't really think that is the greatest update for this car. They really should have kept this dash in the really more retro Mustang technology. So I think that's a fail. I think this here is, once again, it's just so much. I mean, so you just kind of look at this interior here. So this is a big turnoff. I think a lot of people will be more about, it's a nice car and all, but here's what's the cool thing here. You get this new electric brake, so it's kind of confusing. All you do here is, look here, you just push down on this brake and brake off, okay? You just pull up and the brake is on. Okay, so like I say, you just pull up here. Okay, and then you go in here, and this is where it gets confusing. For you trying to figure things out, go to the Pony settings, and this is where I tell people to buy these Mustangs. This is where you can get into how you change the car, the way it rides, the exhaust, and that's where you don't see the availability to change out the exhaust. We have the different rides here where you can have sport mode, you can have manual mode, you can have the race mode, track, drag strip. I guess this is here for the rainy days or something, slippery. So that's really cool. And then you can get the slippery, your steering, so this will change the way the vehicle handles and feels. You got your traction control. You can take that on or off. Definitely keep that on if you're smart. You got your dash layout here where we can change that out. But what's interesting is it's on the Sport, but why isn't that transferring over here? So that's kind of interesting. Why isn't that same theme going to that? Let's see here if that changes. There's that. I'm just not in depth enough on this vehicle to really show you on that. It's got the auto AC and heat. But this is where people get, which I agree, this is where it gets kind of aggravating. To turn the heat up and down this car, instead of having a button here, you got to go up here. And this is just where it's like, this is just like the Ford Lightning and Mach-E technology. If you want to get your heated seat on, I don't even know where that is. I mean, right now, you guys have to go to the home and get out of all this and see here, even for me, I just don't see, well, you know what? This doesn't have a heated seat because this car here is a cloth interior. So there you go. It's not going to give me the heat or the cool capability. There's another thing you didn't get in this car that was basically a 50,000. Well, look at this, the sticker there. Anyways, all right, here's a lot of things going on here, but that's really nothing new for the Ford. That's been around for quite some years. The transmission, I wish it was a Tremec transmission. It's an okay. I noticed last night trying to put this thing in reverse, it was kind of not taking it. Really had to jam this thing to get it in there. So I don't know. Car's brand new. You know, got to break it in a little bit. So all right. So there's the exhaust. I'll put the window down, and you know, do we get any kind of like real thing out of this as we drive it out of the driveway? See, look. There just isn't really a lot there. It's a very quiet car because it doesn't have that active valve exhaust. Yeah, so let's get out of the car now, and I like the mirror. I think this mirror is kind of cool looking, so that's pretty nice. But there's the ding 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 ding. What is it? I mean, what is this all about? Why is it telling me to get out of the car? Is it telling me to look in the back seat if I have a little baby? A lot of these cars have that now, so you don't leave your kid. This is a July built car. All right, so go over to the sticker here. So this car here was $50,775. They took a whopping $1,500 off. That was borderline hemming and hawing. The first was $500. This thing has that gas guzzler tax. Hard to believe today, and I showed this yesterday in the video channel, that when you have an 18 mile per gallon sedan, you don't pay gas guzzler tax. When you have 17, below 18, you have to pay gas guzzler tax. Who would imagine that the Mustang manual transmission car would be paying, that, you know, just a real basic Mustang would be paying a gas guzzler tax? All right, so here I am. Now I own a manual transmission car. And I think to myself, when you kind of go from the car, and here's the thing. If you really follow, most people watch my channel realize that the majority of the cars today, probably 94% of the vehicles sold today are automatic vehicles. So the manual transmission is really a very small niche of the new car sales in the market. Even to the point many people couldn't buy this car because it's a manual transmission. And there's a whole other variable. If you're a car dealer and you're in certain demographic markets, this becomes a nuisance car if the guy that ordered doesn't take it. Because you have to find that unique person that wants to buy this color and manual transmission versus most people like the auto cars. And with the new, this is a 6-speed manual transmission. That was something I was going to mention to you on the Ford Mustang Mach-E. That's an automatic. It's not really even, I don't know if you can call it an automatic transmission. It's wheel motors that are 1-speed wheel motors. So when you go to these electric vehicles, and you look at that Mustang Mach-E down there, that vehicle has 4 wheel motors on it, and it's just a 1-speed wheel motor. And there isn't like your conventional transmission. Same thing with the Ford Lightning truck. It's just wheel motors that are running that thing down the road. So it's a whole different concept of how these electric vehicles move, even though manufacturers out there that are making manual transmission electric vehicles. It's more about the experience. It's not a really electric transmission vehicle. It's somebody making you feel like you've got a manual vehicle. All right, so kind of wrapping up the cars, the Mustang itself. Well, you look at the cars here, but then we go to the motorcycles, and everybody for the most part would say, well, yeah, motorcycles are all manual transmissions. I mean, that's the number one thing that people love about these motorcycles. But then you go over here to the Honda Goldwing, and the Honda Goldwing is actually a DCT, a dual clutch transmission. So this is an automatic transmission, which this is now my 3rd Goldwing. 2018, the first year they brought them out. So there's no shifter. You can get a quick shifter for these to make you feel like you're shifting the bike instead of using your paddle shifters on the motorcycle, which are up here. But anyways, the first year out I had the Tour and the non-Tour, and I just wasn't excited about that DCT transmission. The bike had a lag in it. When you go around real slow, you have to do like a turnaround on the motorcycle and balance yourself. you had to so be on that gas and brake to balance yourself because the engine and the transmission just had a total like loss of energy at a very low speed. I didn't like them. I eventually got rid of them. Honda addressed that in I think like 2020 or 2021. So the new DCT like 20 or 2021 later models, these are much better transmissions, much nicer package. I would highly recommend if you're looking for a Honda Goldwing, don't get the 2018 or 19 model. I don't think you're going to be happy with that transmission. So Honda, I do like this type of, in some way it's a lazy man's motorcycle, but it's so fast. And that's the thing. When you go from this manual transmission to this automatic transmission on these motorcycles, because I've run my friend, not Chris, this is back when I got my 2018 Honda Goldwings, I ran my friend that had a manual one, and I just smoked him. So the automatic is faster. Same thing in these Mustangs, and same thing in all the new cars. And that's what I was talking about earlier, was the Challenger. You can't even get the manual transmission in so many ways, especially in the horsepower range that I have. So on the motorcycle end, it's all about the manual transmission and you learning how to ride a motorcycle, even though the Can-Am, trikes, there's other bikes out there that do have automatics. But for the bigger bikes and the bikes I have, it's all about the interaction of you being able to do the shifting in the clutch. Even though you can get the quick shift set up where you don't have to pull in the clutch handle to shift on motorcycles. You can set that up in your motorcycle. People know about that more in depth. But going back to the car for a second, yeah, so if you want a manual transmission to Dodge Hellcat with the Red Eye package, you can't get a manual transmission. Dodge won't back it. They don't think the transmission can handle the torque and power. Now, if you want to get the non-Red Eye, yes, you can order a manual if it's available. And I know during the pandemic, there was constraints and challenges to get a manual. But we had a manual. If you watch my channel, I bought my daughter a 2020 Gold Rush Scat Pack wide body, exact same car, different theme in the TA package, manual. I didn't like it. I did not like that car. To me, it was boring and lame. And that new smoke show that I bought my daughter out here in the driveway that you see behind all my vehicles here, that is such a fun vehicle that gives you so much more performance and fun. And there's no way that my daughter could stick shift that car and even stay close to me in my cars. You've watched my channel, you see us kind of doing little, stints up and down the road. And I can promise you, if she was driving a Gold Rush manual transmission Scat Pack, there's no way she'd even stay close to what you can do with an automatic. So in that aspect, not the same here that's Mustang. So here's the thing. Going back to the Mustang, anybody out there looking for a Ford Mustang, because a lot of people don't like the Ford Mustang. There'll be people that walk away from these. They're unimpressed. They don't think they have much to offer. But it's the crucial part of when you buy these Mustangs. It's so important that, first of all, are you buying the GT Coupe or are you buying the GT Premium? Okay. The next thing is, what package is the car have? If it doesn't have the GT Performance package, you already have a very basic Mustang. Did you get the 5.0 or the 4-cylinder? So, but then when you go to the GT Premium, it's so important that did you get the active exhaust? Did you get the rev matching? Yeah, believe it or not, did you get the rev matching? Let's see if this even shows that in here. That's another thing I didn't even talk about on this car here, is this vehicle here has the rev matching. And that's when the RPMs match the shifting modes of the car to keep the RPMs up. And so, yeah, so once again, there's another feature. So the whole point is, you really have to option out these Mustangs to get the fun factor out of them. And if you don't do that, you're not going to like the car. Because I've just had too many friends like, yeah, I drove a Hertz rental Mustang. I'm like, oh my God, you really think that's the real deal Mustang? And you came to closure, the car wasn't that great? I think there's just, you're kidding yourself. It's like going renting a real basic SXT Dodge Challenger. I'd be like, blah, boring, nothing there for me. All right, so the auto conversations. Let's get the the conversation up here upstairs now, even though, yeah, where's the rocket, right? What's going on now, right? So I'm sure for somebody, well, what's next? Where's the rocket? Well, the rocket deal hasn't officially gone down. I got to go down there and sign paperwork. But my daughter is a Harley. She's the Harley girl. My daughter so loves this Harley Davidson Lowrider ST, this Harley Davidson Street Bob, that it just doesn't. She just, she's riding a 117 motor, 114 motor. She just loves the exhaust note. I can't emphasize enough on how these motorcycles have such a different personality. I mean, you come over here to the Indian Challenger, and we start this motorcycle up, and it has a nice rumble. Here I am. I just put a brand new battery in this thing. I don't even have a thing on a charger. I'll be amazed this thing even starts up right now. I just can't believe that I don't have this thing on the charger. But just too much going on. So let's listen to this Indian Challenger. Okay? And this is the separation of my kid in so many ways. We just, it's all about the noise. So here we go. Start it up. So, okay? Very loud. Too loud. I'm definitely taking those off. I don't like that exhaust. Okay? But the engine. Alright? Now, despite just kind of being on it, yeah, alright, so let's go up here now. Let's start up the Harley with this naturally aspirated V-twin motor. That's a liquid cooled motor. Let's see here. Does it have a neutral? Is it? It takes forever for this stuff to tell you what it has. So this thing just which one do you hear? Which mic do you hear? That's pretty good. Look at that. This here, I mean, it's just out there. It just doesn't have that same Harley. It just doesn't. It's just. So here's the challenge. The daughter really right now is telling me, you know what, Dad? I'd rather ride the Chief Bobber. I'm not really excited about this Sport Chief. She doesn't really like the bike. She claims this little fairing thing moves around going down the road, and it looks like it's going to fly off the bike. I have no idea. I'll be riding this bike because here's what's going on. I'm going to take this, and I'm going to go ahead and just trade it in for the Triumph Rocket, because I just think that it's just a waste of money to be sitting here in my garage. And the kid, in all sincerity, she's saying now that I've redone the seat, she likes this setup more than that setup. I think it's a really nice motorcycle. I'm going to ride it back to dealership. And yeah, then I'll probably get there and go like, oh, I can't let this thing go. But So I think this is going to go bye-bye. It's just all about the money. When you have all these auto pays to pay for all these freaking vehicles, yeah. I mean, every one of these things have an auto pay to pay the bill every month. You think, how the heck am I going to stay on top of paying all my bills? I mean, this is very challenging. So, all right, a lot of conversation, but I just love the new Mustang. I think this here is just a really nice car. And yeah, how long do I keep it? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if you know me, you're like, yeah, that'll be around for X amount of months or so. And it's I just about went 6 months. Wow, the dogs gave up this morning. The dog, look at this. I just about made it to 6 months of not buying a vehicle. But that vehicle, yesterday, that deal just about didn't go down because I just didn't feel good about giving up the white Mustang. And what you don't know is, hey, puppies, those watch my channel. Dogs are like, hey, where's the boss? Where's Dad? Get my coffee drinking in front of you. Thank goodness my throat's kind of calmed down, or has it? Start drinking coffee again, and we started hacking and coughing again. So, yeah, that deal was based on the Mustang for a Mustang. Then Ford Financial was comfortable with that, but they wanted a ton of money down. Yes, they wanted way too much money down. And I'm like, man, I don't know. So really, yesterday morning, unbeknownst to my subscribers and people watching my channel, I get a phone call from my sales guy, and he goes, hey, look, the deal's not going down. I'm like, why? It's like, well, Ford's him and hawing. You got a lot of debt. You got things going on. I'm like, yeah, I sure do. And they're just now pulling back from doing the deal. I'm like, you know what? It's fine. You called me about that car. I'm good. It's not a big deal. I got my dark horse. I wasn't even thinking of me buying our Mustang until probably late this year or first of next year. And I said, it's not a big deal, man. So then we hang up the phone. And the finance guy, Steve, who's a great guy there, he gets things accomplished. He's like, hey, when are you coming in? I'm like, wait a second. Derek just called me and said that Ford's balking at this deal. They're not going to do it. And he's like, no. They're going to do the deal. They're going to do the deal. You just got to bring that big money to the table. I'm like, yeah, I just really don't want to do that. I'm just not there to spend a lot of money to buy this car. So I'm like, you know what? But he went through all the trouble, and I thought to myself, the best thing I can do is, for me, just go drive a new 2024 Ford Mustang. If anything, make it an adventure, go check out the car, and just see if this really is what all these other, Road and Track, Car and Driver, Motor Trend, Car Authority, all these different journalists riding around the Mustang, bragging about the Mustang, how much is Ford shoveling into their bank accounts to talk about them. We know that story. So that's what I did. And I just really went there more on the page of, I don't know, is it really worth it? So after the driving around those two different Mustangs, I finally went inside, and I just didn't feel it. I really didn't feel it. I was like, you know what? This is not about the kid now. This is not about Mustang for Mustang. She's not going to be happy with this car. She'll be very disappointed. Because, see, yesterday, my daughter was going to go with me, and I said, do you really want to go to the car dealership today? She's like, I don't want to do that. I mean, you need to go do other things and spend your time better somewhere else. Just trust your father to go look at this stuff and make the right decision. So she's like, yeah, it sounds like a better idea to me. So she went and did her own thing yesterday. And so now I'm up at the dealership. She never did know that I bought that car until I got home. So now I'm at the dealership, and we're inside now. We're going back and forth. But here's the thing. Asbury Automotive Group has purchased Kuhn's organization. And you can tell the change is there. You can definitely feel the energy that, and you know what? When I was at that dealership, it was quiet. It's like things for sure have changed. So I'm now, for me, it's so hard to feel really what's really happening. It's for anybody out there, and that's the challenge. You try to kind of grasp what's going on in the economy, what's going on in the media, and there's just so many mixed signals. On one hand, people are spending money like they've never seen. On the other hand, you're hearing people that are challenged more than ever than they've been in modern times. I mean, it just goes back and forth. But at that dealership, yeah, I kind of felt the energy wasn't like it used to be there as of yesterday. I could even feel from the personnel that you could feel this nervousness of the new owners of, this company, Asbury Automotive Group, is a huge conglomerate of automotive dealerships throughout the country, or portions of the country, out of Georgia. And you can just sense that these people have kind of that feeling like, I don't know, am I really here another 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years? And so anyways, now I'm kind of like, I'm not there. The Victory Blue, whatever they call it, that bright blue, which that was more of the package car for me. I just couldn't really, I just felt like I need to walk. I need to go home. And I was. And then I said, you know what? Tell you what, the Ram truck, is there anything in that? I said, I think the Ram truck is actually the better deal. It has better equity. The numbers will be a lot stronger. It's the better package. But the guy, Mark, there, that kind of oversees the decision-making, what they take in and don't, at the last minute, he's like, all right, we'll look at the Ram truck, and maybe that is a better deal. And so sure enough, yeah, the Ram truck was a much better deal. Package, money out of pocket, everything. So all of a sudden, things started happening, and I was like, well, what about the Victory Blue? And one gentleman was like, well, that's a damaged rear bumper that has a hole in it. Will have to be held and be fixed. And he's just like, you really, I mean, everybody's kind of like, that is such a nice car that you're looking at. And I'm like, yeah, it is. And it's more in the car basically is 7 grand, it's 8 grand less. So I thought, yeah, it probably is a better direction to go. And it should be the manual transmission. So in so many aspects, yeah, if the kid does have, as time progresses, a little bit more in liking the car, she's going to enjoy that manual transmission, I think. But anyways, so at the last minute, it all came down to the deal went down because that Ram truck. But that Ram truck, the deal, I would have just walked away, which is fine. I mean, it really is. So it's not like, yeah, it's not a big deal. I mean, I'll wait for my dark horse. But here's the thing. The auto workers, or the auto conversation, UAW, we're not getting any real sign of that coming to an end, to being resolved, of the differences of the two sides. Really, it's three different sides if you consider it's a big three against one side. So in that aspect, what's going to happen here as time progresses? Apparently, the Ford Bronco side is shut down, so you're not building Broncos anymore. So, and now the UAW is going into fourth week. So where does it start to play out? And I told the auto dealer guys yesterday, because they have healthy inventory again. And they're even complaining that Ford is giving them too much product again, which makes it more challenging for your profits to not have to give things away. And so I said, the best damn thing can happen to you guys, this UAW guys, they don't go back for a few months, because you're going to be able to start now presenting the picture to people, be so lucky to get a car again. They all kind of that look in their face like, yeah, in some ways, the auto guys in some ways could do us a favor of not automatically agreeing to the terms going back to work. So, so we live in a society more than ever, kind of taking the car theme to the state of time themes. Everything's so automatic now. Isn't it incredible how we just live in such an automated world more than ever? And we all know, the artificial intelligence that can tell you what to say and what to do. It's all automated. The generative pre-trained transformer, Chat GPT, that's a huge growing trend. Elon Musk on the page to have the human robots. I mean, automated things for you that will do things for you that you don't have to do manually anymore. I mean, it's incredible where we're going to the automation of this world, but yet mankind still can't get along with each other. Where we're now in total incredible turmoil in the world of the wars that are going on around us, not seen in modern times, between Russia and Ukraine, and now the Israel and Palestinians, the Middle East. I mean, it's just incredible of what is happening, but yet mankind is developing so many other things to make things in so many ways more efficient and better, but we still can't get that human factor out of the hate and love out of the equation of who we are, and how we're just ravage things and just destroy things, and yet we rebuild things and try to make things better. But wow, I mean, it's just so automatic that we all kind of see things, and that's what I was saying this morning is Elon Musk, the EU, is really going after Elon Musk now. What's really spurring all this? So Elon Musk, the X platform, former Twitter platform, is getting attacked. It's getting attacked a lot. And what the EU is saying right now is this Israel conflict with Hamas is his platform is misinforming people at a big, very big. And so literally, there's a letter on X from the EU, the president of the controls the content of the internet, platforms, and monitor all this stuff, and they're sending him a stern warning that X is promoting false narratives, false information, misguiding people, misleading people. I just think, wow. Does anybody remember anything here in recent times of the CNN, the MSNBC, the Fox News? I mean, you can go through the list of the news media outlets. And then, does anybody remember that Twitter was controlled by the Biden administration of what could be shared on that platform, what information can be told to people. I mean, and now that Elon owns it and he's trying to be more transparent, and I'm by no means defending Elon to be the most perfect, social media outlet. And I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying, isn't it interesting that more than ever, it just seems like X in so many ways is getting really on the radar screen. So what is that all about? What is going on that we're seeing that the so-called freedom of speech is being not so much. I don't think this is any new news to anybody here watching my channel that we know. Yeah, freedom of speech. Yeah, right. Sure. Yeah, so incredibly challenging times for, I think, us, and then so many people here feel like so many are coming here to create here what we see overseas. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's such mixed feelings on that. I mean, it isn't like we have territory and we're doing things to others. And that's the thing. It's just incredible. The Russia-Ukraine war is all about Russia wanting back Ukraine that Vladimir Putin feels was taken away from them wrongfully. All that's going on in Israel, I mean, I shouldn't say it in such a lackadaisical term, but the Israel, Gaza, Palestinian, conflict is all about the land, the area that the Palestinians had that then, in their eyes, was invaded by the Israelites, so the Jews. I mean, so it's just incredible on how we're now involved. And the reason I say this is because so many think that these cells are coming to our country to do harm to us because we're supporting, in their views, a war that is pro-Israel versus not pro-Palestinian and Hamas. But I think to myself, yeah, but what's accomplished out of that? I mean, do we really believe that all of a sudden the Palestinian state is going to be in Minnesota? They're going to overtake Illinois? They're going to have that whole state now and control that? And that's going to be their own, presence? I mean, so I don't know. I don't know what's accomplished besides just revenge for support of Israel. I mean, I can see that, understand that, but I don't really know, New York City, are they going to just take New York City and that's going to be now their refuge? I don't know. It gets deep and heavy, and it's a very long video this morning, and I appreciate everybody watching my channel. I'm going to let it go. I can talk, right? Yeah, I can talk. So now, what's the adventure today? Well, I forgot to give Coons Ford a check that I had written out for one amount of money, and then when Derek, the sales guy, followed me home, and if you watch my channel, Derek, my sales guy, was so adamant on wanting to drive that car. He never had driven the GT Mustang, never the new one, never had ridden in the 2024 Mustang. I'm supposedly one of the first to buy the hardtop GT Mustang from that dealership, 2024, that he was just adamant about wanting to drive that car. And I was really like, that's fine. If you're going to have fun, then awesome. Drive it home. I'll have plenty more times to drive it home. So, yeah, what's today play out? Yeah, I technically need to drive back to Coons Baltimore Ford and give him a check. Then I'll see a different car there and how will that play out. And then I'm supposed to be down at Motorcycles of Dallas to finalize the deal in the Rocket. A whole other day of me just chasing deals. Yeah, right. Yeah, Jesus Christ. Wow. Anyways, hey, everybody, I appreciate everybody's support, comments, and anybody wants a sticker. I got to get one of the guys a sticker. I forgot all about that yesterday. I got to get him a sticker in the mail. Just too much going on. So, once again, thanks for watching my channel. Share the channel, and hopefully what I share with you helps you. And you kind of know a little bit more better of what maybe fits the seat of your pants when it comes to a car or motorcycle. God bless, stay safe, and have a great day, and stay tuned for more adventures.